What's going on, all my Arsenal fans and my Mesut Ozil lovers? This is the beautiful poet, which is quite subjective. I'm here every month talking about Arsenal, and I always have two wonderful guests. Today's no different. Please give a massive round of applause for man like Joe from Cheeky Sport.
Hey, love you, poet.
But this is what's so confusing, because now what do I call the other individual who's also called Joe, just not from Cheeky Sport?
Hey!
All right, who wants to be Joe? Who wants to be Jay?
I want to be Joe.
There we go, I'm Jay.
Yes,
Yeah,
I'm
like
Joe. Yes.
Mate, there's a lot more things in life for you to be extremely happy about. But we'll give you that Joe one. All right, so here's a bit of a problem at the Emirates. So the past few years, few seasons, November has been a tricky month. But this season, we've done pretty well. The question is, have we finally lifted the curse of November?
Of course it's a curse. He said it himself. We've had teams that were up for the grabs. Tottenham at home, we should have had them, man. Undefeated or not, you know what I mean? We should have had them this year. We're at the Emirates. We're playing well, probably the best we've played in a long time. Still couldn't do it. Man United still couldn't do it. You know what I mean? This is probably the weakest they've been in a long time. They were up for the taking, man, you know what I mean? And we still couldn't finish the job. Southampton, my gosh, man. We didn't have a completely weak side as well, but we still couldn't do the business. Honestly, November, when I look at November, I just get scared, man. Like, seriously, I just, it's like, it's in my head, it's in the player's head.
But Jay, isn't the counter-argument that when you take a look at the month of November, for the past few seasons, we've played the likes of United, Spurs. These are not easy games. And no disrespect to the rest of the teams in the Premier League, but surely, when you play games of that magnitude in close proximity, you're kind of happy to get a couple points here and there, and instead of putting them all of pressure, you have to win this game. You're talking about PSG, Manchester United, and Spurs within 1 month.
You're always playing difficult games when you're in the Premier League and the Champions League. You have Champions League fixtures, like mostly this time of year, and then also later on. You always have, when you have, 8 really difficult teams in the Premier League, you've got to play them both home and away. That's like 16 games spread over a year. Yeah, having United and Spurs a couple of times in 1 month isn't that big a deal.
Do you reckon it makes it any easier? Imagine this year, Joe. Like, every Monday afternoon is a bad afternoon for you. And you've got it in your subconscious, but it's not really made apparent. Then Monday morning you wake up and one of your people reminds you, I'll tell you what, Monday afternoon, you're never really on top form. Surely that has an effect on you. So every November, if it comes round, we draw the first game and then you jump on social media and you see people saying, oh, they're always bad in November. Does that stick with the Arsenal players?
100% it does. Definitely it sticks with the players. I mean, if you've got press writing about you all day long saying this is a bad month, etc., it's going to get to the play. Ox is a real human being, So is Theo, so is Drew. Everybody.
Professionals. They're
professionals, but they go to the toilet just like I do, all right? they have team
They've worked
and
at the
breakfast.
highest point of their craft for a decade, 2 decades, 3 decades. They can handle a rough Monday.
Joe, I'm sorry, because at the end of the day, players react to what's in the press. Sometimes you see players, if they're criticised for a while, they'll probably go for a slump and players come back. Or it affects them and they don't come back.
Because they're going for a slump.
Yeah, but to be honest with you...
One leads to the other.
Yeah. And what I'm saying is that the pressure that they have on them it actually affects their performance. Look, you can see it, man.
Having a rough Monday because apparently you don't play well in November, it just doesn't exist. They're not paying attention to that nonsense.
Are you kidding me? Those guys are on social media just like everybody else. If you've got people getting at your tail...
They're looking at what Neymar says that day.
No,
they're not
seriously,
looking at what the Daily Mail says.
I'm sorry, Jay. This is why you're called Jay or not Joel. Seriously, you've lost it. Honestly,
that
man.
hurt me.
We're all human beings. We're all affected by what people say. You know what I mean? Maybe some more than others, but at the end of the day, if you keep poking that same spot and you keep going at it, eventually you will dig a hole.
Let's be a bit more specific. We've spoken about, past few seasons, so on and so forth. Let's talk about this month. Okay, it didn't end too well, but if we look at the actual month itself, we've played 3 top sides, 1 in the Champions League and 2 that were trying to go for the Premier League at the start of the season. And we managed to get draws in 3 of the games. Has it been a good month? Let me start off with Jay, who doesn't believe in the curse.
I also don't think it was a particularly great month. I'd be a little bit worried for Arsenal going forwards because Chelsea, Liverpool and City look really, really strong this year. The Southampton result doesn't matter. But all of the others, they're reasonable points, but you can't drop that many points when you're challenging for the league.
How about you, Jay? Joel?
I'm just trying to grab my breath back. Did you just say the Southampton result doesn't matter? Listen, we need to be trying to win every single game as much as possible. I'm not saying it's the end of the world. I'm just saying it does matter. Why does it matter? Because we didn't actually, it's not that we lost. If we lost with, should I say, a bit of pride and, effervescence, I wouldn't really be worried. But the fact that we went out there and we hardly showed up, man. I mean, seriously, there's guys out there, quote unquote, fighting for the team. We need to be stronger, man. We need to be taking this opportunity and saying, you know what, November's a bad month for us, but we're going to show them. And I didn't see that. I haven't seen it all month.
Well,
you know?
it's all right, boys. Boys, enough for your say. Hey, and enough for your
the youth players in this tournament, right? Joel's going to come on to Arsenal Nation in 2 years' time, and he's going to be saying, why haven't Arsenal developed any good players over the last 2 years? Why weren't they playing? Why weren't they playing those younger players?
All right, boys, order in the court, order in the court. All right, we've heard what Joel and Jay have to say. Joel says it does matter. Jay's the rock. He said it doesn't matter. The question is, what do you think at home? Leave a comment. Let us know by typing on your keyboard with your fingers. Don't use like the palm of your hand. Don't lose the base. If you might break it and your mum's got to buy a new one. It's just a complicated situation. Make sure you leave comments and let us know how you feel as we move on to a player that I feel we kind of missed this month. Our aim is clearly poor. It's man like Hector Bellerin, Bay, who signed a new contract because he wants to stay. Love this guy. Joe, how do you feel about Hector Bellerin?
Oh, man, I just love the guy, man. Seriously, man. Like, I mean, there's one scene that I won't forget. I mean, Arsenal versus Chelsea. Pedro's one-on-one with the goalkeeper. But guess who comes in? Saves last-ditch tackle. I mean, Pedro's fast, but Bellerin's faster. Seriously, man. There's not one player right now that I would be more happier to sign in a contract besides Sanchez. Like, seriously, it's fantastic for the club. It means that Barcelona can go away. I don't want him sniffing around. I don't want to see, the talks in the papers. I'm just happy that he's a gunner. He's staying. He's developed well at Arsenal. He's going to keep developing. He's young. He's getting what he deserves. And you know what? He absolutely loves it in the club. Absolutely loves it. Always great with the fans. I don't know what more to say, Poet, man. I'm just happy he signed.
Hey, Jay, let's take it back to Borussia Dortmund away. Did you ever foresee him developing at the pace in which he's developing after that game?
No one comes in to be the Premier League's top right back at 21 years old. Like, it doesn't happen. It's incredible. He's got all the attributes that you could possibly want. Like, he's a fantastic defender. He's the quickest player in the league. He's technically excellent. And also, I've heard that he's doing a marketing course at Penn in America, which, like, either, right, if that's true, that's, like, incredible and speaks to what an amazing and professional person he is. If it's not true, it's still, like, a bit incredible that you can believe that, like, he's actually that dedicated to do that kind of thing. I don't know, I think he's great.
What type of message does it send out to Arsenal, and what can we expect as well from Hector Bellerin this season? I feel like he's one player we've possibly missed this November. How much of a crucial player is he to the way in which we play, Joel?
When you look at Bellerin, and when you look at the squad and you look at the team selection and you see Bellerin, you go, oh, okay, great, Bellerin's there. I mean, seriously, man, like, I've never been so confident in a right back at Arsenal before, like, ever. Like, honestly, when I look at him, I just smile, man.
Man loves Bellerin. I love you, Joel. Hey, Jay, give me, like, one of your top moments in Bellerin's career so far that you've loved and you said to yourself, do you know what? This boy's got something special.
But it's the Pedro moment that Joel was saying. It's the last-ditch tackle at Chelsea. Like, there's no one else in the league that can do that.
Go on, Joel. Well, he said that one, Joel. You give me a different one.
It's not one moment. It's moments throughout the whole course of the season. When teams are attacking against Arsenal, you will notice that they will stay away from their left-hand flank because they know that it could get tricky. I'm not saying that we're completely weak in other areas. You'll see that players get shifted from one side to another. I mean, I wake up the other day and Eriksen's playing on the right wing, for goodness sake, you know what I mean? Because he knows that if he comes up against Bellerin, then you know what? It's going to be a bad day. It's a madness. It's a madness, Poet. It's a madness.
Do you know what I like about Bellerin? There was one game where we played Bayern Munich last season and he absolutely got torn within the first half. To have the confidence to say, I'm going to run past Philipp Lahm, one of the greatest defenders of our generation. then put a cross in for, obviously, my good brother, Mesut Ozil, to score and wrap that game up like a nice Christmas present. I just said to myself, this boy has something in him that says, regardless of what happens in the game, I maintain, I stay focused, and I'm going to give 100% throughout the game. I think it's a good moment when he signed a new contract. It sends the right message out, not just to the players, but to the fans as well. So Hector Bellerin, here at Arsenal Nation, we love you. Have a nice. Okay, so you've heard what we have to say about Hector Bellerin. Arsenal fans, leave some comments and let us know what you think about Hector Bellerin. Your favourite moment from him so far, some of the funniest things he said on social media. I mean, we love you here, Hector Bellerin. Make sure you just have a nice. As we now move on to the parts of the show that I love the most, you know, the shareable stuff on social media, which happens to be In Case You Missed It. Now, let's talk about a couple of things. Let's talk about Alexis Sanchez. When you say Sanchez, what's the first thing that comes to mind? Take a look at this picture. Yeah, he really loves his dogs.
So happy I go to my home with my dog.
All right, let's move on from Alexis Sanchez and his dogs. Let's take a look at a picture that I'm still quite confused on whether it's real or fake. Arsenal and Christmas jumpers. It's all a bit confusing, isn't it? Like, all right, I'm still confused on whether it's fake or if it's real. Forget all of that anyway. Just leave comments and tell us what you think about that wonderful picture there of Arsenal in Christmas jumpers. As we move on to Alex Iwobi, international duty for Nigeria. And I tell you what, them Algerian players will definitely not forget his name. Take a look at this clip. Them man there on the rainbow flicking on my G. The final thing here to address on In Case You Missed It is the Brazilian team, Chapecoense. A tragic incident that happened in Colombia in a plane crash. I think it's beautiful to see the way the world supported it. Wembley and the Eiffel Tower and various other wonderful things within the world, using the team's colour of strip as the colour of the lights. And I think it's beautiful to see the world unite at moments when you need it the most. And this is how Arsenal and Arsenal Nation showed their support. All right, that was In Case You Missed It. Now, all my Mesut Ozil lovers, all my Arsenal fans, sometimes we don't catch everything. Sometimes we miss stuff. So make sure you let us know by leaving comments or at us on the Twitter, at Arsenal. Oh, my God, shameless plug for Poets Corner UK as well. And let us know what we've possibly missed just so we can stay on top of things, just like the toppings on a pizza. Hey. But anyway, let's move on to the next part of the show, the final part of the show. It is called The Back Four. Them man have got 1 minute to answer 4 questions. The question is, can they do it? Joel, Jay, can you do it?
Of course we can.
Mad
Born
thing.
ready.
Oh my God, it's
Born
mad
ready.
in here. All right, let's get ready for this. You've got 1 minute. 1 minute on the clock, please. Starting from now. EFL Cup. Missed opportunity, yes or no?
No one cares about winning it. You've got to play the young players at some point.
Ah, man, missed opportunity, man. Listen, there's a lot of competitive teams this year in the league. You have to try to win all the trophies, or at least anything. You have to try to win something.
All right, Xmas jumper photo. Real or fake?
You can see from Özil's head, it's like turned the wrong way. You can't get all the players to do it at the same time. It's fake.
What are you talking about? They train together like almost every day. It's a real photo.
All right, Olivier Gorgeous Giroud. Plan A or Plan B?
Plan A. There's no one better at hold-up in the league. He's fantastic at scoring headers, at passing to everyone. Yeah.
Plan B. Sanchez has been amazing up top. And you know what? Besides the month of November, we played really good.
We're running out of time.
Change it if it's broken?
Funniest moment of the season so far.
Sanchez and his dogs.
Iwobi scoring, but he thought he scored, but it was actually Sanchez's goal.
Them man have done it with 5 seconds to spare. I tell you what, back four. Give yourselves a round of applause, boys. Well done. First of all, I'd like to say thank you to Joel and Joel. You know, they are family on the show. Love having you here, but I'm afraid it is time to go. People, remember one thing in life, that we just support Arsenal. Is anything else that important? Make sure you're back here next month, same time, same place, different guests. Goodbye, because we love Ozil. Mesut Ozil. I just don't think you understand.